Along the sun-drenched coast of what is now Lebanon sits the ancient city of Tyre, a port metropolis that in the 12th century BCE was arguably the most important city in the entire Mediterranean. With its grand palaces, busy wharves, and skilled artisans, Tyre was a showcase of Phoenician culture at its peak. But to truly understand the Phoenicians, we have to take our story into the open seas, for they were known throughout the ancient world as the Sea Kings, masters of the unknown oceans. Hi, it's me. Welcome to my channel. The Phoenician civilization emerged around the 15th century BCE along the eastern Mediterranean coast of what is now Lebanon and Syria. By the 12th century BCE, the Phoenicians had established a vast trading network from the British Isles to North Africa and as far east as India. At the height of their power, the Phoenician states included modern-day Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Cyprus, Malta, and parts of Greece and Turkey. The individual city-states often found themselves at war with each other, but they shared a common language, religious beliefs, and cultural practices. One of the greatest contributions of the Phoenicians to the ancient world was their invention of the first alphabet. Before the Phoenicians, written communication was a cumbersome process that relied on pictograms, and the people who used them had to be experts in deciphering their meaning. The Phoenicians changed all that by creating a system of 22 characters, each representing a consonant sound. This innovation greatly facilitated the spread of literacy throughout the Mediterranean. In fact, the Greek alphabet is largely based on Phoenician script. But the Phoenicians were not only masters of writing, they were also masters of navigation and cartography. The Phoenicians kept meticulous records of their travels, noting down the distance between ports and recording the positions of stars and constellations to aid in navigation. Though we have no maps created by the Phoenicians themselves, the records they kept helped later map makers, such as Ptolemy, create some of the earliest known maps of the Mediterranean and beyond. Navigating the open seas in the days before GPS and nautical charts was a perilous undertaking. Even the most seasoned sailors were at the mercy of the elements and could easily become lost or shipwrecked. So how did the Phoenicians and other ancient sailors navigate the oceans? They used a variety of techniques to help them on their journeys. One method was to follow coastlines, which provided natural landmarks to help sailors keep their bearings. They also used celestial navigation, observing the stars and constellations to determine their location and direction. In addition, sailors would often use tools such as compasses and astrolabes to assist in navigation. These tools allowed sailors to measure latitude and longitude, helping them to plot their course and estimate their distance from land. Despite these tools and techniques, navigation in the ancient world was a risky business, and many sailors never returned from their voyages. The Phoenicians, however, were up to the task. They developed advanced ships that were well suited for long-distance travel, and their sailors were highly skilled navigators. The Phoenician ships were typically fast and maneuverable, allowing them to navigate through tight straits and anchor in shallow coastal areas. Their sails were made from durable materials such as linen or wool, which allowed them to withstand the harsh conditions at sea. Furthermore, Phoenician sailors were well versed in astronomy and used their knowledge of the stars to navigate the seas. They also kept detailed records of their voyages, which helped to ensure that they could retrace their steps if necessary. Despite the dangers of seafaring, the Phoenicians thrived as maritime traders, connecting distant cultures and profiting from the exchange of goods. The Phoenicians dominated the seafaring industry in the Mediterranean for centuries, but eventually their power began to wane. Various factors contributed to the decline of the Phoenicians, including competition from other maritime traders, such as the Greeks and Romans, as well as the rise of new land-based empires that controlled access to valuable resources. However, despite their eventual decline, the Phoenicians left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Their innovations in navigation and cartography helped to facilitate trade and exploration for centuries to come, and their alphabet paved the way for literacy and communication across the Mediterranean. Today, modern historians and marine archaeologists are using new technologies to trace the Phoenician routes and search for submerged ports, hoping to shed light on this mysterious civilization. As we continue to explore the world's oceans, we may uncover even more secrets of the Phoenicians and gain a deeper understanding of their contributions to human history. Innovations in communication and maritime trade have always had the power to connect people, cultures, and ideas. From the Phoenician alphabet to the global trade routes of today, the ability to communicate and transport goods across vast distances has been a driving force in shaping our world. In the ancient world, the Phoenicians understood this power better than anyone else. They built ships that were instrumental in expanding trade networks and spreading cultural exchange throughout the Mediterranean. Their navigational techniques allowed them to explore new lands and chart unknown waters, expanding our knowledge of the world around us. So the next time you look up at the night sky or gaze out at the endless horizon of the sea, take a moment to appreciate the legacy of the Phoenician Sea Kings. Their mastery of the oceans and their innovations in navigation and cartography helped to shape our world in ways that we are only just beginning to understand. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to my channel and join me on my journey to bring the wonders of our world to your fingertips. Thank you.